good afternoon YouTube, and welcome back to Partickhill Station. It's been a while, I know. I've been travelling a bit for the last little while. Was in Spain and more recently in Las Vegas, but I wasn't in Las Vegas for gambling because that's just a waste of money. Anyway, so I'm just trying to get back into the live broadcast. I cancelled my subscription, and the reason I did that was I didn't have the time to do a live broadcast on a regular basis, and it didn't seem viable to be spending money on the subscription when I could be using that money for other things. Anyway, I may get back into it as time goes on, and as an example, at this point in time, I'm having issues with this camera. Can't get it out of the vertical format, so that's something that's just happened without any explanation, and I'll need to work on that. Now, recently, you may have seen a short video that I made about having a visit to the dollar store, and this is what I bought while there, and the intention was I would use these for telegraph poles, but when I looked at them with a little bit more care, they were 0.25 inches in diameter, and I thought that just might be a little bit on the large side for telegraph poles. Now, I decided today, when I was out, to go back to the dollar store and see if I could find something a bit more suitable. Now, these particular ones I would use for log loads, so they won't go to waste, that's for sure. But see, I'm not really set up properly here. Anyway, so what I found was these smaller ones. They look like 1/8 diameter, and that would probably be perfect for telegraph poles. So that'll be my next project, is to cut these to length, maybe 4.5 inches, which is about 118 millimeters, something like that, and I'll construct a few of those and see how they look located around the layout. And then of course I picked up some leaf green paint, acrylic paint, and they'll come in handy for my trees. And let me just get this into view. You've probably seen this before. I haven't really made any progress in it, as I said, because I've been away. But those are the flowers out the garden, and what I've done is I've cut them off and sprayed them with hairspray, and they're ready for painting and adding flock. Now, I trimmed some of the canopy. Forget that. I trimmed some of the canopy here, and I may take a little bit more off. And as you see, as you see here, those trees are pretty full, but look good regardless. But I would like to improve a little bit on them. So that's another little project I've got going, and of course here's my subway station from Kingsway Models. You can't see the inside of it there because I've got it somewhere else. It's got a little bit of derailing going on here. I think a lot of the derailing is caused by the wagons, where they're hooked incorrectly and they get locked up, as in this one, and then they start bouncing and coming off the track. I always take care to make sure that they're on properly, but yeah, this one's an issue. That's running now. It sounds as if it's coming off again. Yeah, just leave that one off. So there's nothing much changed around here. That's the key. I'm still fiddling with track, trying to get my locos to run as smooth as possible. And one thing, I just need to check on the comments here. Clive, yeah, hi, how are you, Clive? Good to see you on here. As I said, I've not been on for a while, but I've seen you pop up on Jenny's show as an example, and hope you're keeping well. And let us know what's happening on your side of the pond. Yeah, it's kind of busy around here, as you can see. I'm just not organised at the moment. I had a number of things on the go, but got interrupted, and I haven't rectified that situation. And of course, this StreamYard banner, it's pretty annoying because this is the free version, and I can't remember how to get that off, which is a bit of a pain. I fiddled around with it, and when I started it up this afternoon, and I couldn't get it to disappear. And I know there's a way, but it may also be because it's a free version and I dumped the subscription version, only because I wasn't using it, and I wasn't using it enough. It just didn't make sense to be paying for it every month and not using it any more than I did with the free version. Now, I'm just going to reach over here. What I'm trying to do at the moment is download the text font that says underground and save it, and then I'll try and print it out and put it on the front of the station there. Because in Glasgow, in the many of the subway stations, they had that sort of green-white tiling on the outside, so that might be a scratch build at some point. But they also had this font style called Johnson. I think it's similar to Gill Sans, and what I want to do is print it out, and I may end up cutting it on my Cricut machine, which has been sitting on its own, not being used, and I really have to make an effort because there's a fair amount of money put into that, and with the hope that I'd be able to start using the machine and building little buildings like these Metcalf and such like. Just haven't been able to get round to that for one reason or another. Well, you've got the cataract done. All is going good. Oh, well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that because I'm not sure if I told you, but I had an issue with something called narrowing angles, and I may have explained it to you before, and the ophthalmologist said, well, cataracts are forming, but they're okay at the moment, nothing to worry about, and I'm just hoping that I can put that off for as long as possible. But I'm glad it's working for you. Anyway, one question that I have is, this is a down line. Oh, sorry, this is the up line. And, I'm not 100% clear on this. Like, I think that's the way it should be set in place, which means these 2 points here are really in the opposite direction. I think the loco is supposed to enter into the point at this location and then enter out into the track, whereas I've got it going the opposite way around, and I think that might be contributing to some of the poor running in that area. And if that's the case, it means I'm going to have to lift a number of points here and see if I can change them over. Just try to see if there's anything else. Oh yeah. So I purchased, I hope you can see this, I purchased these excuse me, LED lights, and I'm going to be installing them in my tenement building there, and then I'll run it temporarily to a 9-volt battery, and they should light that up. But that means I've got to get cracking and get them installed, and then close it off, and hopefully not need to open it up again in the future. And I still have to get some structural components to tie this together because it's warped a bit. I need to pull it back into place, but you see, that's what happens when you use cardboard. But that's okay. I mean, it was an experiment. It worked quite well. I was happy with the result, and we just have to try and improve it. And this is my shunting or reversing board, whatever it's called, the automatic reverse circuit. So that's the one that will go in here, I started the wiring for it so that power will go in here sort of halfway around, and it will be controlled over here at the board and some kind of a toggle and switch to get that running. Tom Houston, how are you? Good of you to drop by, Tom. I've just been saying to Clive, I've not done much in the railway for the last month or two, with the exception of the odd little quick video that I posted just to let people know that I'm still alive and kicking. And you see, there's another problem. I've dropped off from. It's funny how this happens. I'll need to get back in here and just bear with me for a second. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain because I set the cameras up and then all of a sudden it will drop off, and that means I've got to exit out and reload it. So let's see if it works quickly here. Yeah, it seems to be starting up, so I'll allow that, mute it, and enter the studio. Okay. And I'm just going to turn it around. Anyway, yeah, I've got lots to do, lots of little projects, nothing big, but you know, the big one is the area over here. I've got to close this in. I have to get that finished. This area with the tunnels, it's, yeah, you see what's happening. I can't explain this one, but it's the wrong time of year, time to spend time in the garden. Well, actually, Tom, I did spend time in the garden, and that's what I got were these potential trees. Hopefully we'll end up looking something like that. And then this problem I've got with the camera being in the vertical position is very frustrating. I shut the camera down, restarted it, and I'm still getting this, and I'm not clear as to why that happens. Anyway, yeah, as I said, I have to fix this area here. As you can see, there's a height difference there. So what I'll do is I'll chop off the bottom so that they align properly, and then I'll put posts in here and cover it so that the portals for the tunnels are secure and in place, and then I don't have to worry about it falling over. So that's a fair-sized job to do that. This little cameo over here, that's the sort of general idea of what I'm going to do with it. I just have to fix that, get the proper roadbed in there, and you know, fix this, maybe make some new concrete walls, and run that through. Not really sure. We'll play that one by ear. And you know, as I'd said, yeah, I've got a bit of an echo going on too. You know, doing a bit of travelling, always take camera and a few odds and ends. And I've misplaced my earphones to use with this iPhone. Hence, we're getting a little bit of an echo coming through. And I did a bit of flop to the top of this rock cutting here. And you know, I'm hoping to do something with that to improve it and blend it into this wall here. And there are my 3D printed skips that you may have seen. The process of me printing them and then painting them. And here's another interesting item. These are paper straws. Now, I got these in the US. I'm sure they're available everywhere. But I'll paint the inside, and they can be pipe loads. You wouldn't really know the difference once I get some paint on it. Hopefully it won't warp. These are structural beams that I intend using on the other side of the bridge here. So I've got to fit them up, paint them and fit them. And I've been using this track cleaner. That's the old Triang permanent way department track cleaner, and it's very effective. Now, you probably saw my my video on the Great British Train Show, which was, by British standards, not a big event, but it was fairly well attended considering it's a smaller community over here. And I thought, well, this is a time for me to try and get rid of some of my stock. So I tallied up, you know, maybe £500 worth of stuff, including an APT set in a box and 2 Harry Potter train sets unopened, and various coaches, etc. And you know, I made $175, so it didn't really sell very much. The guy who was operating the booth for the club that I belonged to said to me, "Well, Charlie, your prices were too high." Well, you know, I thought a boxed coach, $20, wasn't a lot to ask, especially when you look around eBay. You'll see it's much more expensive on there, plus postage and packaging. And that was just a general comment on too expensive. I was asking $150 for each of the Harry Potter train sets. I didn't get any bites on that. One lady wanted the locomotive only, and I said to him, well, okay, look, 125. No, she didn't bite, so it didn't sell, and I'll just hang on to it because I'm not going to give them away. Although, you know, at the end of the day, when my time is done at Partickhill Station, somebody's going to have to give them away. But we'll cross that bridge, as they say, when we get to it. Anyway, yeah, so when I was in Barcelona and then Seville, it was 40 degrees in Seville. It was very, very hot. Now, I'd been to Seville previously, a number of years back, and that's what I remembered about it. It was so hot. But they had, and that was in May, and they had an early heat wave, unexpected. And I was in Seville for about 3 or 4 days. And then I went to Las Vegas for a football convention. Of course, I was in Seville because there was football going on. Anyway, I was at this football fans convention. There was about 1,800 people there. And I participated in a charity football game. Now, that was the first time in about 15 plus years that I was on a football field and actually try to do something. And I was very proud of myself that I was able to do it. And the temperature was around about 99 degrees, which was really draining. Anyway, before I went there, I spoke to the cardiologist and said, "Hey, Dr. Wu, this is what I'm intending doing. Do you think it's possible that I could play in this charity game?" So, he did the scan and everything else and said, "Yeah, brand new, Charlie, go ahead. Just drink lots of water." And that's what I did. And at the end of the day, I was very happy that all worked out. So, Andrew Dobson, hello Andrew, nice to see you. Yeah, I've been away for a while. As I was explaining earlier, the paid subscription was too costly because I wasn't using it. I didn't have the time, and I was involved in other things, and I couldn't do enough broadcasts in a month to substantiate the $25 US or whatever it was. So I just let it go, and maybe I'll get back into it at another time when I'm better positioned to do more of these broadcasts. But at this point in time, all of that is on hold because it's just not panning out for me for a myriad of reasons. Anyway, Andrew, how are things with you? What's happening down your way? So it's about 27, 28 degrees here right now in the Toronto area. It's going to get a bit warmer over the next few days. So it's nice just to chill out, as Tom said, in the garden. I had to go and rent a small chainsaw, an electric one, as I had this enormous big weed that had turned into a tree between our house and the neighbour's house, and I had to bring it down. It was just getting out of hand. Plus, it was route one for the squirrels to get up on the roof, and my wife would say to me, "There are squirrels in the attic," but what she was actually hearing was the squirrels running across the roof, and it was echoing into the attic. So I took care of that, and I was able to rent the chainsaw and and remove that tree, although it does have pretty large root remaining between the houses, and that's a job for another day. Anyway, one of my jobs coming up is to fix this. As you can see, you know, that's for Instagram, TikTok, that kind of stuff, not for YouTube. I'm not really sure why that happens. Well, Tom, where are you? I forgot where you're located. Okay, Andrew, all the best. Uh, 17. Well, that sounds like UK summer. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or even Irish summer, as in Clive's case. Right? You know, I tell people that they say, "Oh, I must go to Scotland," and I would always say, "Go in May, because you get a better chance of getting some nice weather." And that's always been the case whenever I went back. That kind of worked for me. But changing climates. Well, look, I think I'm going to wrap it up, because I'm running out of topics, because I don't have much to speak about in terms of developments. I'll reserve that for another time. I just wanted to jump on board and let everybody know that, yeah, I'm still here. The railway's still running. I just need to schedule time in order to get back at it on a more regular basis and solve problems like audio, echo, and format of the camera, which is a real pain in the backside, and then get into big projects like covering this area and getting the underground signage up for my Kingsway model subway station. And another little project, it's not here right now, but I had a cinema in there, and I'm trying to change the text on that also. So a few little things on the go. Anyway, thanks very much for dropping by, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next time here at Partickhill Station. Bye for now.